On August 25, 2023, the water slides at Birch Bay Waterslides waterpark were operating normally. Around 12:52 p.m., a rider was sliding down one of the park's 4 main water slides near the park entrance. The rider was on the slide named Hairpin and exited the slide into the run-out pool, screaming in pain. Responding lifeguards would find the rider to have severe lacerations on their right lower leg and foot. The park and its slides were closed for investigation. The investigation would be headed by the Washington State Whatcom County Department of Health and Community Services. They would start with a site visit to examine the slides themselves. On this site visit, they would discover a large hole in the splash guard for the Hairpin slide. The injured rider's foot had impacted this section of the slide splash guard and broken through the fiberglass, causing the injuries to their foot and leg. To learn more, the investigators asked about the design of the slides. The slides were made by an unknown and now defunct manufacturer for the park's opening in 1985. The slides had been resurfaced and even replaced in several sections by industry-recognized slide refurbishment company Safe Slide. The slides consisted of 2 main portions, the slide deck and the splash guard. The slide deck is where the riders' bodies were designed to lay. It was made of reinforced fiberglass. The splash guards were intended to keep riders' extremities and water in the slide, not to support the weight of riders under ride forces. They were made from non-reinforced fiberglass. According to the park's general manager, the slides at the park were undergoing annual maintenance conducted by third-party contractors rather than by the park itself. This included a local firm, Kensington Engineering, who would complete a structural analysis of the slides, and Safe Slide, who was performing annual refurbishments of the slides themselves. Within the time frame of the investigation, the general manager of Birch Bay Slides was only able to provide documentation from Safe Slide for the 2022 and 2023 refurbishment of the slides. Safe Slide, as a company, specializes in restoring and repairing water slides. This sometimes includes replacing slide segments altogether. Safe Slide also inspects slide deck integrity as well as doing fiberglass work to ensure a smooth ride. The park's general manager stated to investigators that the slides were walked and inspected at least once a week, with the park's maintenance team inspecting between 1 and 2 slides at the park each day before the park opens. With this being a very small water park with only 10 slides, every slide can be inspected between 1 and 2 times a week using this method. The park did not document these inspections or any repairs that took place as a result of these inspections, so it's not clear if Hairpin had been repaired in the recent past in the failed area, or if any other damage was noticed. The investigators made a second visit to the park and inspected the damaged slide further. They noted that the failed splash guard segment was on the wind-facing side of the slide. They also noticed that the splash guards on the slide were held on with metal fasteners drilled into the exterior flange of the reinforced segment of the slide. They noticed that many of the fasteners that remained, especially on the wind-facing side of the slide, had considerable amounts of rust and corrosion. They also noticed several of the fasteners were loose, with a few missing altogether. Additionally, some splash guards near the broken section were loose. The investigators also noted several cracks in the fiberglass that would have taken some time to develop, meaning they were likely missed in a daily inspection or their maintenance was deferred. Again, the park maintenance log for inspections were unable to be recovered by the investigators, meaning there's no way of knowing if these problems were noticed or not. The investigators also discovered a previously repaired segment of splash guard immediately downstream from the failed guard. It was clear that the guard had been repaired at some point, as the section where it was attached had been patched to provide material for attachment of the bolts holding the guard in place. It's unclear when this repair was performed or what the nature of the splash guard's failure in this area was. Unfortunately, the county inspectors are not engineers, so that was the limit of their investigation. However, I would like to bring up another detail that I believe provides more insight into why the slide failed. The splash guards being made of non-reinforced fiberglass indicates they were not intended to experience strong forces, such as the forces experienced when keeping a rider in the slide, with the reinforced slide deck intended to take these forces instead. But watching guest point-of-view videos of this slide, it's clear that it was common for riders to slide up onto the splash guard in this segment, sometimes getting so high as to have their entire bodies supported by the guard. According to the park's general manager, the slides had no weight limit. Depending on the speed of riders, this segment of non-reinforced slide may have been repeatedly supporting riders, which it was not designed to do. This design flaw in the original slide went unnoticed for many years, as the slide was nearing 40 years old at the time of the accident. It's likely that this accident was waiting to happen, and in this case, the warning signs were missed, leading to this accident. With this information uncovered, we can reconstruct the accident on August 25th, 2023. On August 25th, 2023, Hairpin at Birch Bay Waterslides was operating normally. Around 12:52 p.m., a rider descended the slide. After exiting the double down area, they slid up onto the splash guard on a sharp turn. As they did this, the splash guard, weakened by thousands of other riders sliding over it, broke, sending the rider's right foot through the segment of missing and damaged fiberglass. The rider's foot and leg contacted the broken fiberglass and rusted steel fasteners, causing serious lacerations. The injured rider continued down the slide into the runout pool, where they were assisted by lifeguards who were alerted by the rider's yelling. The rider would be transported to a hospital where they would make a recovery. The park would close for the remainder of 2023, and the investigation would begin. As of November 2024, the rider still has an open suit with the park, and direct blame for the accident has not been placed. Birch Bay Waterslides had its operating permit revoked for all of their slides following their failure to provide several requested documents to the investigators. This included documentation of emergency response training, lifeguard rotation and break schedules, and daily maintenance and inspection logs. This reason, among others, caused the park to remain closed for all of 2024. In November 2024, they announced that they would reopen in 2025. They also announced they would now be operated under the management of Global Management Amusement Professionals. This company handles day-to-day management, staff training, and record keeping. The park's updated website lists all the original slides other than Hairpin, so at this time it seems that the accident slide will be removed. The waterslide boom of the 1980s saw waterslide manufacturers spring up everywhere, with many water parks from that era still using the slides long after the original manufacturer has since dissolved or been purchased by a larger manufacturer such as Whitewater or ProSlide. This means that design flaws in their original slides may go unnoticed. Restoration and repair companies such as SafeSlide negate many of the risks of these slides by providing impressive restoration and repair services, but daily inspections are the first line of defense. With this accident occurring late in the operating season, it's foreseeable that the problems that caused this accident may not have been noticeable at the time SafeSlide last worked on the slide. Had the ailing slide splash guard been noticed prior to the 25th, this accident could have been avoided. The additional wear and tear on intact segments of the slide clearly point to these warning signs existing but being missed. Thanks for watching this episode of What Really Happened. What other water park accidents do you want to see covered next? As always, these videos are made from official accident reports, not news coverage. If you like the factual way that I cover these accidents, please consider liking and subscribing so that these videos appear over others in the search results. See you next time.